Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Canadian Workshop. I'm oftentimes on Marketplace and other Facebook groups looking for any gas-powered lawn equipment or anything really that is up for free or for cheap because people can't get it running or there's issues that needs to be fixed. Just trying to find things that I could fix up, get running, and turn around and sell at a profit to help fund my next projects. And that's the case with this thing here. I just picked up for free actually a 20-inch weed eater walk behind trimmer. So I'm going to see if I get this thing running and either put it to good use or sell it for the next project. Let's get going. All right, so the first thing I want to do is check to make sure that it's not seized. But first thing is check the oil. Make sure the oil is filled to the proper level. I've seen a lot of lawnmowers come in where people seem to put a whole 4 liters of oil in there. It's way too overfilled, which puts too much strain on the engine and it won't run. Too much pressure on the bottom end. So this thing here, the oil does look like it would need to be changed, but it's not too bad. And the fill level is good. So I'm going to just pull slowly just to make sure that the engine's not seized. So that's a good sign. The engine's not seized. It does. It feels like there's some good compression on there. I'm going to pull the top off here. And one thing we're going to do is check the flywheel. Oftentimes what happens is these things sit outside, like this one probably has, gets full of rust. And the flywheel and everything gets all rusted up. So, yeah, this thing here sat outside for sure. Okay, so engine cranks over. There seems to be some good compression. Let's check for spark. So I'll take this off. I'll get my spark tester. Now, if you don't have one of these, I would highly recommend getting one. It's a spark tester, and all you do is you hook it up to your spark plug, and you connect it into the spark plug boot. And then when you pull it over, there's a little light in there, and it'll light up to show whether or not you have spark. So we have lots of spark there. I can see it from here. So for now, we won't change the spark plug, but I will after, if we get this thing running. There's lots and lots of spark there, so that should be fine. Next up, if we have spark, we got to check fuel. So I'll put this back on. We do have fuel. Yeah, it smells like old gas in there, and that's most likely our issue. I've seen this happen lots before. Gas sits there. It smells old. It's not, hasn't turned to varnish yet, but it does smell pretty old. So I think what we'll do is we'll drain the gas out of the carb and the tank, and then we'll put fresh gas in there, and she'll probably fire right up. Oh yeah, that's that's turned to varnish, so there's no way it'll run with that in there. So I'll get that drained out. So there's a 13 mil nut under here that we have to remove. Put that container under there in order to get the bowl off. I've got a receptacle underneath to catch the gas that's in there. Pop the bowl off. Holy jumping. Let me bring you guys in to see this. Gee, I wonder why my lawn equipment isn't running. Take a look at that. Yeah, that shouldn't be in there. All that sludge in the bottom. Yeah. It won't run on that at all. Okay, so let's get this thing cleaned up here. I'm just going to let that drain. That's going to pull all the gas out of the tank. We'll put some fresh fuel in there. Yeah, see? You can see all that sludge in there. That's trying to make its way into the cylinders to burn. and that's not going to work at all. I'll get some rags, get that cleaned up. I'm just going to use some carb cleaner to clean out this the bowl for the carburetor. Start with that. I'm not going to take apart the whole carb, just to see if it'll run quite yet. We just want proof that this thing can run. So that gas, oh yeah, this the float's full of sludge too. I'm not convinced that just cleaning the bowl on this one here will work. Might have to actually strip down the whole carb, but we'll see. Don't over tighten this, just snug enough for the fuel not to leak out. Oftentimes these bowls get over tightened and then you get a big indent in the bottom. That's no good. All right, so we got that back on. Get that out of the way. All right, let's get some fresh gas in there, get her primed, and see if she'll run. The other thing I could see from here too is there is debris in the bottom of the tank that'll need to be cleaned out. Actually, worse than debris, there's ice in the bottom of the tank. So that's another issue, is water gets into the gas floats on top, and your machine ends up just drinking water. So that's no good either. We'll get that out of there. Water in the gas tells me that I'm gonna have to take apart the carb if I'm gonna keep this for any length of time, or if it's gonna run and we want a permanent fix. We need to gonna have to get all the water out of the system here. So what we'll have to do is pull the gas tank off and drain out the tank. Hopefully pull it off without breaking anything. Sometimes these things, when they get older, they tend to crack easily. There we go. Tank's off. Grab our needle nose pliers. Now you could hear the, oh, there goes the clip. The clip broke. Fuel line comes off easy. Probably hear that. That's all ice. That's an issue with running regular gasoline into your small engines, is the ethanol in there does collect water and cause issues. The other issue with having water in your gas on anything that's going to sit over the winter time is that water will freeze into ice, and then it'll crack carburetors, passageways, fuel lines. It wreaks all kind of havoc on an engine. Especially you guys out there that use pressure washers. Always remember in the fall to winterize your pressure washer. You can get a spray for it. You spray into there, and it's like a antifreeze type foam that helps protect your pumps on your pressure washer, because that's a costly repair. All right, so we got that kind of fixed for now. It's not a permanent solution for the gas tank. That's going to need a further cleaning, but we're just trying to see if this thing here will run or not. So let's get some fresh gas in there. I am in Northern Ontario, Canada, and it's freezing cold today, so I got my Big Buddy heater running beside me, and I am trying to be careful handling gas and stuff next to a heating element. You want to put enough gas in there just for it to be able to make it to the carburetor so it could run. Another thing I could have done too is put gas down the cylinder, but I want to hear it more than just start up. I want to hear it run. So that should be enough gas for there. We got maybe an eighth of a tank or so. The pickup is at the bottom, so that should be fine. Now there was water and ice in the tank, so that means that there was possibly water in the fuel line and everything too, but we'll just see if it starts. Give it a prime. I just want to check to make sure that gas actually made it into the bowl. So I'm going to just crack that 13 mil. I'm just going to crack it open just to make sure that we do have fresh gas in the bowl and that there isn't ice or anything higher up in the line. Yep. So we've got fresh gas in the bowl. So there's no obstruction in the line between the carb and the tank, which is good. And it does smell like fresh gas. So I gave it a bunch of prime. So we have spark, we have gas, we have compression. So this should fire up with a few cranks probably. Now, one thing I want to check is this. So when you're running the throttle cable, there's a lever here that should go on and off. So that's working. Full fuel. Prime it a few more times. Oh. I could feel it wanting to go. Gonna have to fix that after. Yeah, the recoil needs to be fixed up. Give it a few more primes. All right, so it's not starting. So what I'm going to do is check the spark plug, make sure we have fuel making it to the cylinder. So I might have to rebuild the carburetor. All right, let's see the spark plug. It's got a bunch of old fuel in there, and it's quite dirty. I'll give it a few cranks without the plug in there just to air out the cylinder a bit. What I'll do is I'll put a couple drops of gas in the cylinder. Now, using that spark plug tester and getting a spark or getting that light to light up is a sign that you're getting spark to the spark plug. It's not necessarily a sign that your spark plug is good. It just shows that you are getting spark to the spark plug or power to it. It could still be a damaged plug, but at least it's an indication that everything to the spark plug is good. So now we should crank it, it should fire up. And it did. So it will run. That's a good sign. Let's see if I can get it fired up one more time here. Okay. So spark is good, compression is good. We have a fuel issue. Let's put a bit more gas in there. One more time. In a pinch, I've had situations where just putting gas in the cylinder and having the machine fire up once or twice is enough to kind of dislodge the carburetor, just enough to get it running. I wouldn't use it as a permanent solution, but to get out of a bind, it has worked. So I'll give it one more shot. That's it. So in about 20 minutes, we're able to take this free walk behind weed trimmer that's going to go to the dump, prove that it can still be fixed, and get it running. Now what I still need to do is properly flush out the gas tank. I'm going to take apart the carburetor, clean it, replace the fuel lines, replace the spark plug, and I should have a good walk-behind trimmer that I could either sell for profit for the next project or keep and use around the house. So thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of any of my upcoming videos. And if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below, and I'll read and I'll answer every single one of them. We'll see you on the next one.